Maybe on the next calendar, pay-per-view calendar for WWE, Bad Blood could be included. But on Peacock for now, that could be the next pay-per-view after Clash in Paris. Because on the calendar as it is, August 31st, we have Clash in Paris. And then we have Crown Jewel in Australia, where Rhea Ripley is getting her Women's World Championship back. So we'll just start the tears flowing now. It's happening. But they might add another show on September 20th. Now, the big talk this week is the whole counter-programming thing. And as you told Grunt, which is a good point, you're going to watch what you're going to watch. There's a lot of people like him specifically. He probably, aside from WWE trying to, not even just send a message, trying to hurt AEW's business, AEW people are going to watch All Out regardless. I don't think they were ever really on the fence. There are people that could go back and forth. I'm going to watch both. At the same time, probably not, but I have to make a choice. I don't know which one I'm going to watch as of right now. Kind of depends on what the cards look like. But now we're getting to a point with WWE's counter-programming where they're now putting their main pay-per-views up against AEW's. And I had seen today that Dave Meltzer's theory on this was that they're trying to hurt AEW and ruin their next television deal, which isn't up for another 3 or 4 years. So I feel like this is just kind of a waste of time. So they can make TNA the second biggest company in the country, which I'm sorry if that was going to happen. It would have happened a decade ago. It's not happening. They've been helped out a lot by this WWE partnership. That's true. But I just don't see a reality where they help out TNA so much that they surpass where AEW currently finds itself. What's your take on the whole counter-programming thing? Again, you're going to watch the WWE pay-per-view regardless. You're one of those people, which I totally understand. But, like, is it a big deal? And why do you think WWE's doing this?
I mean, I don't think it's a big deal. Like I said, the Grunt, I mean, I think you're going to watch what you watch. And if you don't want to watch it, you won't watch it. Like, I'm not going to watch All Out, and I'm going to watch the pay-per-view, and that's just my decision. I mean, sure. Regardless if it was vice versa, I would have done the same thing. I mean, I'm going to choose what I want to watch, regardless of if something else is on. I mean, were people crying in the 1990s when WCW went head-to-head with Vince on Monday Night Raw? I mean, you got to make a decision. Especially back then with television, you watch one or the other. It is what it is. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it's, like you said, it's competition. They want to take away buzz and hype and all that stuff. I mean, I see why they do it. I mean, I think at this point, I feel like they're clearly number one and they're clearly number two. So I'm not really sure why it really matters. But like you said, if they're really trying to push TNA, I guess that's something. I don't know if it's really going to work out. But, I mean, besides that, like, at this point, I feel like it's kind of the line in the sand's already drawn, so it's not like they're just starting up. Like,
I know.
It is what it is.
And they weren't doing this in 2019 or 2020 or whatever. This is really something they've done actually a lot more of since Triple H took charge. And it's not the wrong thing to do. I think it's more of an annoyance for certain people where it's like, I don't want to have to choose between the two. And, WWE's doing it because they want to send a message to AEW that, we're the bigger company and all that other stuff. But that's already well established. It might also be annoying for fans for WWE to say they're not competition. But by doing this, they're basically outright admitting they're competition. Maybe not in terms of viewership, obviously. Maybe in terms of talent or goodwill with fans or whatever it might be. I just feel like just for me, I'm annoyed by it because I watch both shows. I would just much rather they separate the weekends, have it next weekend, you do yours this weekend, so everyone gets a little love. They don't give a shit about AEW, I get that, but it's just, to me, it's just completely unnecessary, and especially just adding another show. That's another part of this that I haven't really mentioned either. They're doing a pay-per-view 3 weeks after Clash, and another show right before Crown Jewel, and I said this a few months ago, and I'm curious if your thoughts have changed at all. For me personally, I feel like the more shows they do, and I saw Nick Khan saying, we're only going to do 10 PLEs on ESPN next year. Yeah, bullshit. You're not just doing 10 PLEs. Give me a break. You're probably going to do fucking 12 or 13. But I feel like the more shows they do, the less special they get. It's like with SummerSlam. That did not need to be a 2-night show. I feel like the bigger that you go, the less special these shows are. They're not bad pay-per-views. I would still take these pay-per-views over Vince's PLEs that were terrible 7 years ago. But I still feel like they don't need a September show. I mean, they have Crown Jewel right after Clash, like 5-6 weeks later. Why not just do a 6 weeks build instead of doing what they're doing with the whole 3-week thing by adding this show unnecessarily in the middle of September?
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing I can think of is maybe they want a domestic show. I mean, like I said, I feel like just putting it in, I mean...
And why Indianapolis, too,
Yeah, I mean... Obviously, they're in Paris, then they'd be back in the U.S., and they go back to Perth, and then Saudi. So like I said, the only other thing I could think of is they want a domestic show. But like you said, the 3-week builds, I mean, for me, it's like more content, but I mean,
Sure.
you kind of got to go more quality over quantity. I mean, you have 1,000 shows. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, it does kind of get to a point. It's like, what are we doing here? But at the end of the day, we say the bottom line.
If they're making money
the
off
bottom
it, they don't
line
care.
is they're making money and they don't care.
No, they don't care. And listen, I will say this. The one positive of it, I think the counter programming is dumb. I don't really think, to me, in my opinion, there is nothing to gain. WWE, whatever, people aren't going to be like, oh man, I was going to watch All Out, but now WWE's that same day. I'm going to go watch WWE instead. They already have their core fan base. Like anyone that's on the fence.
But I don't think it's more the viewership thing. I think it's more like I said, it's more like the buzz thing.
Take away from whatever buzz
I think
make.
I think they understand. Like I said, if you're gonna watch one or the other, you're gonna watch one or the other. It's not like, oh, now that it's up, I'm gonna watch this instead. No, I think you're gonna watch one or the other, and then like I said, I think it's more of like you catch buzz and you're kind of like squashing any momentum they have because you're taking the buzz away.
Which you could if the shows are worth it. Now they did with Evolution because Evolution was great. But on the same day they did All In, the whole reason why they did Saturday Night's main event that weekend was to take away whatever buzz that All In had. All In was an objectively better show. Saturday Night's main event was not good. It was not an overall great show. That installment back in July. They also did Great American Bash at the exact same time as All In. No one watched the show. No one was talking about the show. I feel like when they do stuff like that, it just hurts themselves. WWE is the bigger company. Better depends on the week. Sometimes they are better creatively. Sometimes AEW is better. That's just the way that things go. But I feel like when WWE does this sort of thing, you're right. Theoretically, it can take away from AEW's like headlines and stuff if it's a good show. Like if Cena and Brock go in there that night, which it's reportedly set for that show, and if they do it, thank God, get it out of the way early, please. In my opinion, I do not need to see this dragged out for 3 months. Just my opinion. I don't want to see any more rematches. I'm good. You might feel differently. But like Cena and Brock would need to really have, like, they need to go in there and have a great match for people to talk about that over whatever they're going to do at All Out, which might be better from an in-ring standpoint and have more people like positively buzzing. Maybe not when the Death Riders were a thing. Those pay-per-view main events were fucking terrible. But, that was a few months ago. I just feel like if we're going to do this, that's great. But you also have to go in there and have a great show to really successfully do what you're saying to take away from the buzz.
Yeah, but you're putting in bigger stars. So regardless if it's a great match or not, I feel like people would talk about it more.
Hopefully it's good, though, but it's not
positive or negative. You can talk about how bad it is. I mean, it's like the Goldberg thing. More people talking about the whole bad Goldberg retirement. The whole, like, that was the buzz coming out of that weekend. No one was really talking about Hangman beating Moxley.
No, I disagree. I disagree.
They were talking about an Ariel Helwani show. It was all over the news.
I know, but I feel like that changes the narrative of like, listen, I'm giving up on WWE. I'm not a fan of what they're doing here with this Goldberg retirement. Like, okay, whatever. But like, if it consistently happens, a lot of people may not want to watch with the whole Brock thing going on right now. And again, how big is that percentage of people that are jumping ship? Probably not very high. Very low.
I mean, I think it's like I said, the line's kind of in the sand at this point. I don't think it's really changing much.
No, but I would like to see WWE going back to what they did when Triple H first took over with the goodwill with the fans. Try to cultivate that more. Because when you do more dumb booking decisions, like, there hasn't been a whole bunch, but like the John Cena heel run, there's been a lot more negative attention towards WWE since they started doing that, because that was just awful. I'm sorry. It was just bad.
It was bad, but like they pivoted.
They did.
And now it's over.
They did. I just want to see.
And like, I feel like people are complaining, like, oh, like it didn't make sense. I'm like, okay, do you want them to keep dragging this out, or like just act like it didn't happen? I'd rather the second. I would rather just move on from it.
Yeah, I would just move on from it as well, but maybe have a long-term plan in place so we don't have to pivot in the first place, or don't even turn him heel. What a concept!
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like Cena was on board for it. Obviously, didn't really go well, but
yeah, it went the way that it did. Of course, he's on board for it. He does whatever they tell him to do. He's like, okay, cool, whatever. You want me to fight for the women's title? Sure. Like, he doesn't care. Like, he's a company guy. The Triple H being like, oh yeah, he chose his opponent. Cena has said in 3 different interviews in the last week, I don't deal him, I play him. I just do whatever they tell me to do. So he's like, listen, Triple H, fuck you. I'm not taking the heat for that. I'm just going to do what you tell me to do. I don't want to work with him. I don't care if I work with Brock. You could ever work with Akira Tozawa, he would say yes at this point. So it's like, whatever, dude. But it's interesting. I don't know. So that's the counter programming going on September 20th.